Well, the Trump administration has released thousands of pages relating to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Joining us live now is the author of the Kennedy Half Century, Larry Sabato. Good to see you, Larry. So, as a student of JFK history, how much more did you learn here?
Well, considering there are 80,000 pages, and even with a large team working all night long, we got through 20%. And that's
That's still
because
not
there's
bad.
no index, there's no table of contents. You have to take each page and go back to the original document to see whether anything that was redacted before has been unredacted this time. So they've made it as difficult as possible, but that was true in other presidencies as well. I can tell you about the 20%. I've actually learned quite a bit, but not about the Kennedy assassination. I've learned a lot about what the CIA was doing in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. And some of it will prove to be shocking once people see the details. That's also true for the FBI. Other intelligence services have been mixed in there in a number of documents, MI5 in particular. So there's a lot about the context of the times. There's a lot about the Cold War and about the intense distrust between the Soviet Union and the West, and particularly the United States. But there really isn't very much so far about the Kennedy assassination.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, because that's the thing that most folks are interested in, is whether Lee Harvey Oswald still did it and who might have helped him. Has anything changed as far as you're concerned?
No, I believe Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone assassin. However, one thing I've never ruled out, and I don't think anyone reasonably could, is that someone, whether it was someone from a silo inside the CIA or a foreign agent, may have helped or encouraged him. And we will never know, because Jack Ruby, the nightclub owner, killed Lee Harvey Oswald 48 hours after he, in all probability, killed Kennedy. So we'll never know the full story. And I guarantee you, 100 years from now, there will be new books coming out about who killed JFK.
So you mentioned this, the Soviets, the Cubans too. I mean, in that 20% that you've picked up so far, is there anything fresh in your view?
There is something fresh about the attempts the CIA made to kill Fidel Castro. He must have had a deal with the devil. There were so many attempts by so many different people, some of them well qualified. They were right out of the mafia, and he escaped every single assassination attempt. It's really remarkable. I don't know how he did it. We can speculate, but he lived through, I believe, 10 presidencies. Who could have imagined it in the early 1960s?
So some of it, just in your first answer, Larry, you mentioned that some of it you've found has been shocking in that first 20% that you've picked up. Is there an example that you can provide, some context that you can provide on that in less than a minute?
Less than a minute. Well, there are actually dozens of things we've come across, but one I'll mention to you. We had no idea how extensive the mail tampering program of the CIA was. They had 200 to 300 employees full time, just opening up every letter and package sent from the Soviet Union to the United States and from the United States to the Soviet Union. And 1,200 of them a month were given increased scrutiny, and they looked for codes and spies and followed up with some gumshoe activity. Imagine the money that was spent, and it didn't look like they found very much.
All right, Larry, good to chat this morning. Thank you so much for your time. And you got another 80% to go, so we might come back to you again once you've delved a little deeper. Yeah, we'll see it through. Yeah.